Hello everyone, welcome to part 4 of Dead Space. Starting a new session, the main goal for this episode is to find a way to get the station back up and running. And the way to do that is to get the centrifuge and engine back online. So now's the time to open the pod bay doors.
Engineering log, Acting Chief Engineer Jacob Temple reporting. I still can't believe the chief is gone. It's all fallen apart since the captain died. Everyone down here is on their last nerve. We thought the rioting was the worst of it. Till those things came through the vents. Their faces. Fuck, those were my lunch buddies, Liz's friends, old boyfriends. And out of nowhere, the engines are screwed. Primary's laboring, we're hemorrhaging fuel. Fuck if I know why. I'm taking Danvers to the fuel depot to fix it. Gotta keep the team focused or it'll crack. Temple out.
The tool I just picked up is the remote control disc ripper, and that guy is having a moment back there. What's he doing? It's a pretty cool weapon, but it is short range. It's basically just a buzzsaw attached to an invisible gravity tether. I use this weapon mainly as a last resort type of deal. It is good for stun locking necromorphs when they get close. The Ripper also fully demonstrates the flesh peeling system of the remake. You can just see the layers of the necromorph just fold like paper, or in this case tear off like skin. There are some downsides to the Ripper though, like the range being abysmal. This is not a sniper rifle, by the way. And you do not want to use the Ripper out in zero gravity locations or open areas. Hell, I argue the weapon truly shines when you're backed into a corner or in small hallways. There is a secondary fire function where the saw blade becomes a projectile, and that arguably is pretty cool, because it just shreds through everything.
Security request retrieved.
We need help down in engineering. Danvers, get those flyers up. Shut out. I don't want to. I don't want to. Christ, Henderson, your teeth. He's pulling his teeth out. Just hold it. Where the fuck is security? Oh, God. He's dead. No, he's alive, but he hit that thing pretty hard. His own teeth. What the hell is happening? I don't know. Cancel security.
I'm gonna take this explosive barrel with me for the journey. Gonna name it Carla. Me and Carla are gonna be good friends. Anyway, this part right here can be a bit tricky. It's mainly for one part later on where you have to book it in order to not die because the oxygen cuts out. Carla! I'm surprised I did not take any damage from that explosion. Or if I did, it was very little. What the hell? What happened? I think what I did was I dragged the barrel with my feet after I dropped it. Because just like with the bodies and the stuff in the environment, barrels are also affected by physics. Oh, so much for Carla. She wasn't faithful anyway. I'll find another barrel. Alright, so you need that lift in order to get over to the other side, but first I need to flick some switches here. Let's destroy that. This will give me a quick way back to the main hub area. Main hub, like there is a main hub in this game. The previous area with a shop and a save point, that's what I meant. Oh, I found another barrel. Gonna call this one Francesca. The barrel was made in Italy, hence the name.
Refueling sequence activated. Additional fuel required for engine restart.
So now that that's taken care of, I need to use the lift that I force carried over here in order to get to the other side. And don't worry, I'm not leaving Frankie behind, I'm just trying to deal with this necromorph. Look at that, such a cool weapon even if the range is not that good. Oh shit, I just fucked myself. Actually, no I didn't. That's what the Ripper is made for, situations like this. You do want to upgrade the Ripper though so you can do more damage with the thing. My leg! My leg! Oh god, get these guys out of here. Anyway, the reason why I'm so hell-bent on carrying these barrels everywhere I go is actually for the lift. Because just like the gondola section in Resident Evil 4, you're also gonna get attacked on this lift. And you may or may not have enough ammo to deal with the situation. Or in my case, I do have enough ammo, I just don't want to use it. So what I like to do is I wait for the enemies to bunch up, and then watch the fireworks. Well, Francesca, it's been nice knowing you for all of 20 seconds, but hey, you're better than Carla, that cheating bitch. Anyway, the enemy should be piling on the other side now. I think it's about time to throw it. And there is another explosive barrel over there, so if you're a crack shot, you could just use one bullet. But me, nah. The slashers spit out acid. They're kind of like the aliens from the Alien franchise, the xenomorphs, as they're called. There's been a lot of comparisons between Dead Space and Alien over the years. I mean, Dead Space was inspired by Alien, so that makes sense. Well, partially inspired. I think the other inspiration part comes from 1997's Event Horizon, which is honestly an underrated movie. And despite all the executive meddling and studio interference and all that, Event Horizon was still violent as hell. Not as violent as it was supposed to be, but still pretty gory and disturbing and gross. Such a classic.
Last valve done, Chief. Progress report filed by Jacob Temple. The engine problems aren't a malfunction. Someone shut off the fuel lines to the primary engine and damaged the valves to hell and back. We just wasted an hour fixing them. Now we need to restart the south refueling station, but some jackass turned off the power and locked up the circuit breaker. No engine? We're gonna hit planetfall soon. What now? There's gotta be someone around here on his spare access card. Ghost. You hear that? Danvers, go!
Danvers got caught real quickly. Damn it, Danvers! You had one job. One. Just one job, and you can't even do that right. Fuel station key card. I'm definitely going to need that for the foreseeable future. Oh, Kendra!
Isaac. Damn it.
Daniels? Thank God. After the bridge, we saw the...
Glad to this point. I barricaded myself in the computer core. I can hear them, but I don't think they know I'm here.
Clearance.
Isaac, I've tracked down your rig. You're in engineering, right? I'll get myself admin privileges. Maybe I can help.
With that said, it's time to reroute the power, and this is where things can get very hairy very quickly. Here you just turn the life support systems and the lights off and reroute that power to the southern fuel station. And remember to use your O2 tanks here. You're going to need it.
Refueling sequence activated. Sufficient fuel to fire primary engine.
Okay, I've got a fuel reading. Only a quarter full, but it should be enough.
I still need to get the centrifuge working before restart. Someone really screwed with these fuel lines.
Move fast, Isaac. Aegis 7's looking damn close out there.
Well, Aegis 7 is a pretty gigantic-ass planet. Now, I'm looking at the Dead Space wiki, and it says that Aegis 7 is actually a small rocky planet. So, it could be Mercury-sized, or maybe even smaller than that. So yeah, Aegis 7 is, that's a thing. It's a thing in space, and we need to destroy it. Anyway, here's the part where you need to book it, but you're also at the mercy of this slow-ass lift. Come on! I can't breathe in space. I'm not that giant worm from Empire Strikes Back, whatever that thing is supposed to be. Freaking space worm from hell. That was a really strange part of the movie. Yeah, I said it. Empire Strikes Back has one strange part of the whole entire movie. Still a 10 out of 10, but what the hell is that worm? Oh lord, why is this so slow? Isaac's about to freeze in hell. This is the main reason why this part is so dangerous. Getting from one side to the other without dying. Not the necromorphs. Waiting can absolutely kill you here. And you barely have enough time as it is. So just like how Sonic cannot breathe without those underwater bubbles, Isaac cannot breathe and vacuum without those oxygen tank things. I wonder how those things actually work. Does Isaac need to drink the oxygen through a straw or something? And that's what I assume happens anyway, I don't know. There was a similar concept in 2001 A Space Odyssey, the book, Not the movie, but the actual novelization. Because there is this one scenario in the book where, well, first off, Bowman never left the ship to attempt to rescue on Poole. Hal's extreme method to try to assassinate Bowman in the 2001 book is, well, he did open the pod bay doors, but Bowman's still inside the ship. And he doesn't have a suit on. So Bowman scrambles for a shelter before he croaks, and then there it is. Oxygen tank that you drink out of on the wall, and spacesuit right there. I don't get it. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, 2001 A Space Odyssey, the book. It explains a lot more than the movie, but sometimes you don't even need an explanation on things. Still a good book though. What we need to do next is get the main centrifuge back up and running so that way we don't crash into the planet and we all die. Which may have been the better solution in the end because pretty much everybody on the ship is fucked. It's like, yeah, you make it out alive, but are you mentally alive? That's the real question. Anyway, here's a lockdown section where we need to take out the enemies before we move on.
Decontamination sequence activated. Please stand by. Decontamination sequence complete. Thank you for your patience.
Man, Isaac in his size 18 boots. What the hell is this shit? Just imagine this guy stomping around the place. You'll hear him for sure. You'll definitely hear him. The further we get into the Ishimura, the more grotesque everything looks. You got all sorts of disgusting biomatters growing on the walls, like flesh and bones and shit. It's like the last few levels of Contra except gone horribly wrong. Look at that. Yum. But yeah, this is Dead Space. This is what Isaac has to deal with. And unfortunately for Isaac, he has 2 more games to deal with it. Say what you will about Resident Evil, they always switch up their characters just so they don't deal with trauma. At least for too long. We should be getting closer to the main centrifuge. This area is not too much different than the original, but it is harder. And for whatever reason in the remake, the spin cycle is going in the opposite direction. So instead of right to left, it's going from left to right this time. So you have to watch out for that. It's a subtle change that nobody else seems to notice, but somehow I do. I guess I'm a nerd like that.
Entering zero gravity. Warning. Centrifuge offline. Please attach generator modules manually.
It's floating time. The first thing we need to do is connect the power pistons to the main generator. You need to use a combination of stasis and kinesis in order to solve the problem. And while kinesis does not run out of energy when you constantly use it, stasis does. So it's best to conserve the stasis and keep track of where the reload stations are. Just trying to connect the pistons in with kinesis only will knock it back. And it also gives you this disturbing alarm. So what you need to do is move it subtly, then use stasis, and then move it all the way in. And with that connected, we just got one more to deal with. Oh, asshole! Where'd he come from? That monster just did the freaking top rope clothesline Kane used to do back in WWE. Just rip that guy to shreds and move on. Don't have to worry about vacuum just yet.
Generator module attached. Clutch engaged. All personnel clear for centrifuge restart.
Time to make my way back over to the console. If I can find it again. Zero gravity can be confusing sometimes. Hey there, that guy was trying to do the Kane lariat too. Oh man, no, stop, that's enough. They're very generous with ammo in this section too. Whenever in 0G you cannot punch or kick. Well, more specifically, when you're floating you can't punch or kick. On the ground you're just fine. Plasma rounds, don't mind if I do. I think I'm just floating around collecting all the loose ammo. Because trust me, I do need it, even if my inventory is kind of crap at the moment. Ooh, money. Can't go wrong with money in this game. Or credits, they're called credits.
Centrifuge activated. Re-establishing balance with tectonic load.
Looks like the centrifuge is back online. All that's left is restarting the engines, right? Ready when you are.
Here's the part where you have to tread lightly because one misstep into the spin cycle, you are going to get shredded in one hit. And it is not fun. Well, it is kind of funny, but it's not fun. You do have necromorphs in the area trying to kill you, but the good thing is they can get shredded too. And presto, just like that. Now you do barely have enough time to get from one area to the other before the spin cycle comes back. And where the hell did you come from? Get out of my personal space, there's only room for one of us here. And like I said before, in the remake, the spinning is going in the opposite direction as it did in the original. Like in the 2008 version, you have to go to the right of the screen to escape, not the left. It does throw you for a loop if you played the original maybe more than 5 times, like I did. But then again, I haven't played the original in so long, yet I still remember a lot of the key points of the original, which is kind of strange. Dead Space 2 I don't know as well as Dead Space 1, and Dead Space 3, good luck questioning me on what happens in 3, because I don't know. I just remember 3 was batshit insane, but it was also a good game. Not as good as the first 2 though. DS3 is pretty much the Resident Evil 6 of Dead Space. It's a goofy but fun time. Oh, well, okay. Oh, my freaking leg. Ow. And I'm concussed. Now, the tentacles, you want to be careful because if they drag you to a certain point, you're pretty much dead. You want to aim for the obvious glowing spots, and preferably use a fast-firing weapon, like the plasma cutter or pulse rifle. Yes, even the pulse rifle. Apparently the flamethrower is also good for the tentacles. But I don't have the flamethrower yet. There are going to be a bunch of different scripted encounters with the tentacle, or tentacles since there's more than one. And Dead Space 2 seems to love the tentacle encounters because there's way more of them in that game. Anyway, let's make our way back to the fuel station.
Orbital position approaching critical. Correct course immediately.
Got it. Isaac, fuel storage is unlocked. It'll give you access to the engine chamber.
Alright, and that's going to do for part 4 of Dead Space. Stay tuned for the next episode.